Less than P data end equals 469, data start equals 69 greater than BP is making headlines once again, but this time, it's not about pushing for a greener future. It's about going back to what it knows best: oil and gas. For years, BP positioned itself as a leader in the energy transition, setting ambitious goals to cut fossil fuel production and invest heavily in renewables. But now, under mounting pressure from investors, the company has made a dramatic U-turn. Less than P data end equals 828, data start equals 471 greater than. Let's rewind a bit. More than 2 decades ago, BLP tried to redefine itself as Beyond Petroleum, signaling a commitment to cleaner energy. Fast forward to 2020, and former CEO Bernard Looney ramped up that effort, pledging to cut oil and gas production by 40% by 2030 and invest massively in wind and solar. That was a bold and forward-thinking strategy. Less than P data end equals 1360, data start equals 830 greater than. But today, BP is scaling back its renewable investments and putting more money back into fossil fuel production. The reason? Profit. The reality is, renewables simply aren't making the kind of money that oil and gas do. BP's shareholders have been watching competitors like Shell and Exxon deliver higher returns, and they're growing impatient. Some investors even argue that BP has been underperforming financially and should be taken over or move its listing to the US, where investors are less focused on green transitions. Less than P data end equals 177. O data start equals 1362 greater than. So what does this mean? B is now cutting renewable investments by billions of dollars and pumping more money into new oil and gas projects. By 2030, BP aims to produce up to 2.5 million barrels of oil per day, effectively abandoning its previous climate goals. The company still says it will make selective investments in biofuels and EV charging, but the focus has clearly shifted back to fossil fuels. Less than P data end equals 2159, data start equals 1772 greater than. This move has sparked major debate. Many environmental groups and climate-conscious investors warn that BP is chasing short-term profits at the cost of long-term sustainability. They argue that stricter climate policies and the transition away from fossil fuels will eventually leave BP with stranded assets: oil and gas reserves that can't be used due to regulations and market shifts. Less than P data end equals 2594, data start equals 2161 greater than. On the other hand, BP and its supporters say it's not the company's job to decide how much oil and gas the world needs. That's up to policymakers and governments. BP's responsibility, they argue, is to maximize shareholder value. And while some governments, like the UK, are pushing against new oil exploration, others, like the US, are taking a different stance, allowing BP to capitalize on growing global demand for fossil fuels. Less than P data end equals 293, 2 data is last node equals data is only node equals data start equals 2596 greater than. At the end of the day, BP's shift back to petroleum is a calculated bet. The company is prioritizing financial stability and investor satisfaction over aggressive climate goals. But is this a smart long-term strategy? Or will BP find itself scrambling to adapt when the world inevitably moves away from oil and gas? Only time will tell. Stay subscribed for more videos.